Rebekah, we are going to start with you because there is somebody who you really want to see as Finnick, and you're so passionate about this guy. So we're going to give you the floor. And why don't you tell us who you think should play Finnick?
Right. Well, I want, if you follow me on Twitter or if you have absentmindedly found my Tumblr, it's Armie Hammer. That's who I want to play Finnick Odair. I also what?
Yeah.
What?
Well, yeah. Tell us why. Why do you think that Armie Hammer, would be an amazing Finnick?
First of all, he fits the physical description. He's 6'5", which means he's tall. Blonde hair. His hair is somewhere between blonde and brown. He doesn't have sea green, foam, whatever eyes. I've never met anyone with eyes that color, but he has blue eyes. And he's a really good actor. I know most people know him from The Social Network, where it usually surprises people who weren't paying attention, but he played the twins. He played the Winklevoss twins. So he played two characters in one movie, which took a lot of fortitude and a lot of patience to get to the whole technical aspect of it. So we know he's up for a difficult task. I know he's only 25 years old, but a lot of people have the tendency of thinking that he's older, but I'm actually older than him by, a good amount of years, and I look at him and I go, he's 24, 25 years old, but I guess from your average 15-year-old perspective, he looks much older, which baffles me and makes me feel old. He's probably been working since he was about 19, 20 years old, and the things about his background that just every time I get another tidbit of information about him as himself, I just sit there going, could you please just play Finnick? First of all, one of his favorite hobbies is tying knots. He'll sit around and he'll tie knots, just like Finnick. He grew up in the Cayman Islands, which is in the Bahamas, or not the Bahamas, in the Caribbean. He moved back to the United States when he was about 13. So he's adept at, island life. That his ideal lifestyle is being able to cut his lunch down from a tree, but he can't do that because his calling is now acting. So in that sense, he's extremely similar to Finnick in that he shares a similar lifestyle, or did share a similar lifestyle. He's married. He's extremely devoted to his wife. His wife, from my own personal experience interacting with her on the internet, because I'm not crazy, everyone. I'm not crazy. She's a really, really sweet lady, and I love the way that he talks about her, or the way he interacts with her in interviews and whatnot. It's just you see that they're very much in love, and I think personally, if he's even seriously considered for this role, knowing that he has that personal experience of unconditional love with another human being, that it works in his favor, because being able to know what that's like and have to play opposite another person to pretend that you're in love with them, it's really hard to do if you don't know what that is. And he does know what that is. I don't know, I run the Armie Hammer for Finnick campaign on Facebook, and then we also have a Twitter, and as of today, we have 1,170 followers or likes or what have you. So it's a lot of people, and I wrote an open letter to him on Victor's Village, I believe in March, and a number of people sent the links to his wife on Twitter, and she got him to read it, and he's receptive to the idea. He said he was going to read the books, so maybe odds be ever in his favor or whatnot. The only
I was just going to ask about the Lone Ranger filming schedule. Do you think that might interfere?
It's supposed to finish out in August, and I know that they had their budget slashed, so I think they're doing things on a more shoestring budget, so that may actually shorten the time in which they're filming. But the very disappointing schedule clincher is that he signed on to do another film starting this fall, which will be a starring role. It will be his very first starring role. Up until now, he's been sort of the co-star or, like third or fourth down on the roster.
Right.
But I keep hearing conflicting reports like they're not fast-tracking Catching Fire anymore. Who knows about this? Does anyone know? Is it actually going to start filming in August? Because I honestly don't see how they could do that with the time constraints they have, just getting a new director and whatnot.
Right.
Because I know I was listening to the Water for Elephant commentary with Francis Lawrence, and they went through over 12 drafts of the script, and I'm going, I think there's been only 2 drafts of the Catching Fire script, and if he's that involved in a film in, not even 4 months, he hasn't even signed on to do the movie officially. There's not enough time to do 12 drafts of the script for 4 months. There's just not. So I'm
maybe that's in the interest of the movie. Honestly, Water for Elephants, based on some of the feedback I heard, maybe that script was whittled down a little bit too much.
I don't know. I can do an entire podcast about what they did wrong and what they did right with that movie.
Yeah, so
with that adaptation. The proper term would be they adapted it, and like most books to film, the book is better than the movie. But for what it is, it's still a good movie.
Rebekah, can I ask you a question as the Armie for Finnick representative? And this comes from a person on Twitter who's actually, her name on Twitter is Annie Cresta Odair, fittingly.
Awesome.
Her Annie Browen 23 is her actual Twitter handle. But she says, Armie is married, which means girls can't fall in love with Finnick like we already have. Finnick actor equals single, please. Is that a legitimate concern that we need to be thinking about as far as girls? Okay, so you say it doesn't matter that he's not available. Because people are dreaming of Josh Hutcherson.
He's not available in the book.
He's not available. He's in love with Annie Cresta. People, I'm sorry, I have to throw my hat down on this. You need to separate actor from character. Who cares that Armie is married or whomever they cast is married or in a committed relationship? He's playing a character. All I want from the actor who plays Finnick is to believably portray the character. And you should not care about his personal life in that sense. Leave it alone.
I understand where she's coming from, but at the same time, like we just said, Finnick isn't available in the book, and he gets married to Annie. So I don't buy that argument.
That doesn't compute.
Okay. I thank you, Rebekah, for that. I don't know what to call it. That was like a campaign speech for Armie.
We'll call it a stump speech. It was a true stump speech for Armie Hammer.
Okay,
you laid down the hammer big time.